what was cool about this is just that I'd earned John Cena's respect, and I feel like it was because I was standing up for myself, and in one way, yes, against the office, meaning that I changed the promo live on air, but I don't even know if Cena realized that. I don't think, because I would have had to tell him that. I don't think I even mentioned it. But, you know, during this time, he had seen my work progress. And so I did start getting the random compliment from him here or there. Like, look good out there, or, match was good. And I remember, like, I'd be straight up with him. I remember telling him, thank you. And that means a lot coming from you. Like, I'd always let him know, like, look, man, where it's business. I didn't forget what happened. It kind of felt like, if I'm really trying to figure out what he was trying to do, I'm thinking maybe he was trying to, when he told me to not lay down and to change the finish of the match with the tag titles. I mentioned this in my previous video about what it was like working with John Cena, where I was supposed to lay down, relinquish the tag titles to Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel. After we'd already rehearsed this with Vince, and after we'd already shot this on live TV, John goes off on me backstage. It says I shouldn't have gone through with the segment. Even though we rehearsed it, it was in the script. Like, I don't know if he wanted me to stand up for myself or what, but like, my whole point of this was, well, I didn't know that I could do that. Two, this is ridiculous what you're telling me, because you're asking me to change a material part of the story, and I've never seen anybody do that. But also, if that's how you felt, why did you go through rehearsal and the entire segment on TV and never mention this to me? Like, if you had said this beforehand, if I had known that was an option, I wouldn't have done it. Clearly. Oh, what? Wait, I don't have to go through with this segment? Hey, no, tearing this up. We're not doing that. I'm staying tag champs with Cena. Hey, we're going to have a real reign here. You just tell me that beforehand. Anyway, back to this time. So we've gone through all that, and I just now see how things work at WWE a little bit more, that you kind of really do have to advocate for yourself, or it's expected. But also, now I've been there for, a year, a little bit longer, where I have a little bit more pull. Not, I don't even want to say necessarily I have pull, but I have a little bit more standing to advocate for myself. Where when I was a rookie, look, I'm just happy to be on the main roster. And that's how you have to treat it, because I've seen them send people back really quick, or guys who make it to the main roster and they're literally fired. Like, it just didn't work. They're done. They're done. But at this point, I was a little bit more comfortable and able to say some things. And I knew that, like, I was building up equity, at least with Vince. Like, I knew he was very, very happy with everything that I did, and just the opportunities that I was given. And also that I was always on the show. Like, I was always booked. They would find something for me on nearly every TV, if not every TV. And then I was on every live event loop, everyone. Also, it was around this time I started being booked in matches with John Cena, singles matches. And again, I mentioned earlier, our history. But in this time, I remember there was, it might have been, I think it was a 2-on-1 handicap match or something like this. And I remember this was very early on, like when McGillicuddy and I were tagging, and I remember Cena saying, what do you do? Because he was trying to put together the match. He's like, what do you do? I'm like, well, what do you mean? I only have a few moves. And now let me explain this to you. Like, and I say I only have a few moves because I had a decent move set, but then when you on the road, people would say, like, let's say I did, I don't know. Let's say I did a suplex, and then Jamie Noble will be like, nah, that doesn't look good on TV. Don't do that shit on TV. All right, well, I can no longer do a suplex. Let's say I did a drop kick. Look at that drop kick. Looks like dog shit. Don't do that on TV. Well, I can't do a drop kick anymore. So, like, it would be things like that. So what can I do? Well, I can body slam guys. I can tackle. I can punch. I can kick. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm trying to tell Cena, like what I can do, and I can just tell he's disappointed. And then I don't know. But anyway, we go through the match and it's whatever. But I say that to say that there was a point where I was having these matches with John Cena, and then McGillicuddy and I, this was after we split as a tag team, or we lost the titles. We were getting ready to split, but we had a 2-on-1 handicap match against John Cena. And Cena said the same thing, but to both of us this time. What do you guys do? What do you do? And he asked Joe first. And Joe, kind of said kind of the same situation with me, but Joe could do a lot more. But Joe didn't really know how to respond to it, as it's a weird question. So, Joe was telling him a few different things that he did, but I guess he didn't give Cena enough because Cena didn't like it. He's like, no, Tonga, what do you do? And now I listed off a whole bunch of different little signature moves and move sets and spots that I do, little combos. And I actually, once I started listing it, I was amazed at like how many different moves and like things that I actually had. Like, because again, I haven't been there that long, but I remember from the last time that he asked me this, like I probably named him like 15 different things. And I remember he kind of smiled and he used me as an example then. And he was like, you see, Joe, Otunga, I asked Otunga what he does. He's got, 20 things or whatever. And which was unfair to Joe because I don't think Joe understood what he was asking. Joe's got a ton of stuff, but it doesn't matter because Cena was praising me, even if it was for him to put down Joe, which wasn't cool, but for the point of, because again, hey man, Joe is awesome. Joe had, that guy can work. So it's ridiculous. But the point of it being that now Cena respected, just, how much I'd improved. And I know it was from being in the ring with him before also. So I'm saying that to say that like, this is where our relationship was, where now he was respecting me and he would praise me. And so that's why I felt comfortable enough just to ask him his opinion on the bow tie thing. So, and in a way, that was me kind of extending an olive branch to him because we have to work together. I know what you did to me. Like we've never spoken about that and I've never forgotten it, but it's like unspoken, but it's felt. It is very obvious, And so, but that was me trying to be the bigger person and saying, hey, because to be honest with you, like, I really don't care about your opinion because I'm going to do this anyway. But how do you feel about this? Let me get your input. Let me give you an opportunity to see if you're going to be cool or if you're going to be a dick to me again. And thankfully, like he was cool about it. So, this is how we started. We started to mend things.